Hello and welcome to Oceanside Arts Live, where we showcase our local arts and artists. I'm Eliane Weideaur and I will be your host today. We have with us today an actor, singer, teacher, vocal coach, and a really nice person. Welcome, Debbie Nicastro.
Oh, thank you, Eliane. It's so wonderful to be asked to do this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was trying to remember when it was that we met the first time we actually worked together. It's got to be a long time ago.
Oh, I remember. It was, remember the Babe Ruth?
Bambino.
Yep. That's the first time we met.
Wow. That was a long time ago, like 2005 or 6, something like that. Longtime friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been in Oceanside and in the arts scene overall?
Well, I moved here permanently in 87. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of directing at the Mission San Luis Rey. Mm-hmm. Then I started my music studio shortly after that. So 35 years.
Wow. Yeah. Great. When did you discover your talents? When did you realize that you had a voice and you had a passion for the arts? How old were you?
Oh, my goodness. That's a great question. There's a funny story behind that. When I was little, probably 7, 8 years old, my mom said she used to find me in the bathroom with a brush in my hand, pretending I was a movie star or, and she could just see the passion in me, and she would just spy on me and watch me, and I would be so into it. So probably around 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
I had a passion for, being on stage. And then when I went into high school, I started doing choir, and then I started doing some traveling with with bands and stuff. So by the time I was 19, I was already doing it professionally. So
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, what do you think makes the Oceanside arts community special? What makes us stand out or shine in relationship to, say, other areas in San Diego County even?
Well, Oceanside has always been I think, a catalyst to joining the Tri-City. If you think about it, there's Oceanside, and then other people kind of, like Vista comes in, Carlsbad comes in, San Marcos comes in. Mm-hmm. Oceanside seems to be kind of a little hub of connecting other areas into this area. Mm-hmm. So when I decided to, have a home studio here, it just worked, because there's so many areas that will find this central. Mm-hmm. That's one thing, is area. Obviously, it's beauty brings a lot of people in, and Oceanside is really a mecca for musical theater. Mm-hmm. There's, within 15-mile radius, you have some of the best theaters in San Diego. It's just a wonderful place to support this art. And there's also, the street fair that holds, local musicians. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of support in this city for what I do and what I see out there.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now, you for a while, were you the, or am I just off someplace. Were you the youth director when Oceanside Community Theater took over Sunshine Brooks?
No, that was not me.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
But you have worked at El Camino High School and a number of other places that you have worked as a youth coach.
Yeah.
Is it just primarily musicals or?
Yes, primarily musicals. That's my forte.
Mhm.
I was classically trained. And then when I had my kids, they wanted to do an audition.
Mhm.
I had never done theater in my life. And they wanted to audition for Doug and Randy.
Yes.
And at the time it was, I think, premiere for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was A Christmas Carol. And they were so nervous to do it. And I told them, don't be nervous. I mean, I'd been on stage by then, 15 years. I was like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. I'll go with you. I'll audition too. How's that?
Yes.
And there it started,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So we all ended up getting in. That was my first experience with musical theater. And haven't stopped.
Yep. I did A Christmas Carol with Doug and Randy also. Yes.
I know.
Those big pageantry ones with several generations in the show. Yep. Definitely an experience, one to remember.
Absolutely.
So tell me, share with us a little bit about your Voice Academy. What do you teach? What do you offer?
What I do is I teach voice, and it's funny for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are in my little circle, they know what I'm talking about. When I tell somebody else I'm a voice teacher, they're like, what does that mean? And for the layperson, the person not in the entertainment industry or not really knowing that there's a need for someone to improve their voice,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a foreign concept. And so I found that really interesting. So as a voice teacher, you not only cultivate the voice and make the voice what it truly could be, with a little bit of knowledge and
Mm-hmm.
background about the anatomy of the voice and about technique, you build courage and you build confidence. And I think I offer that as much as I offer the opportunity for children and adults to improve on their instrument. Once you become knowledgeable about something, anything, it's powerful. And you start standing differently and you start expressing yourself differently because you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So children, young adults all need that. They all need to express themselves more confidently in whatever area of life that they're in. And so my biggest joy when I do teach voice is also to teach confidence and promote that. Promoting that will get them the lead. It will get them the part. It will get them the band. It will get them up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest joy, is to just see them confident in doing that.
Yes.
Confidence
covers a multitude of, I don't want to say sins or errors, but it definitely compensates.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And these kids, a lot of the younger students that I have, they go through a lot. They go through a lot of different emotional changes at around, 12 to 15 years of age, discovering who they are as a person, discovering, their pronouns, if you will, all of that. And there's sometimes it's not a place for them. And theater and the stage has always been such a safe place for them.
Yes.
And so I try to encourage them to find their people. And once they do, they blossom. I can't tell you how many parents have told me, not only are they singing better, they're a different person. And that's because they found their home.
That's it.
Which is lovely.
Exactly. As a drama teacher for way long time, yes, to see the student that was marginally just hanging on by a thread, get them onto the stage, get them into a play, getting them into tech, and all of a sudden life is so much better and their academic success grows. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Totally agree with you on that one. What's one tip or technique that the average singer would not be aware of? What's one tip that you would share with us? What you would share with me? Sure.
There is, and you may know this, and you probably do because you're an amazing singer. There is an area in the back of our mouth called a soft palate. Now, if you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, you feel the hard palate. Take your tongue a little bit further back, and you feel that mushy kind of area back there. That's called the soft palate. So what happens when we yawn is the soft palate raises. It's a natural instinct. And everything that I try to do with my students will be natural. I never want to force anything or say, do this, unless they understand the anatomy behind it. So one of the things that I have my students do is create that yawn, create that space back there. And all of a sudden, like when we laugh or when we yawn, which is natural, our voice gets louder and we don't have to push from here.
Exactly.
So raising the soft palate and giving it an arc like that creates that much more sound naturally.
Now, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that works for public speaking as well. I've taught public speaking. I've taught people who, after a week on the road of public speaking, their voice is fried. Well, there's a reason behind that. And the singing voice is the same thing as the speaking voice. We don't take one out and put the other one in. You've got to treat both of them like an instrument and like a muscle and stretch it out, warm it up. Most public speakers don't do that.
Right.
They just get up, start talking, and at the end of the day, if they do it incorrectly, they're tired.
Exactly. I guarantee you everyone who watches this video is going to do the yawn and instantly discover how much power with minimal effort they have, how much better projection they have. Exactly. Okay, share with us a story with working with one of your students, or, you don't need to give names, but what's something that really sticks out in your mind, funny or dramatic growth, or something that you as a teacher go, oh, I remember when?
Well, I do have one student that I worked with at El Camino. El Camino in, oh gosh, what was that? 2005, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Right around in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Those students were extremely talented.
Yes.
Several of them went on to Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
One of them in particular that I'd like to share with you was went on to do many things. She attended USC in their first year of pop music as a degree.
Wow.
So she has now gone on to do quite a few things and was recently on American Idol.
Huh.
And she got to, with American Idol and The Voice, not a lot of people realize it, but there are at least 6 or 7 auditions before you even get
Mm-hmm.
the process to even get seen is so ridiculous. It's so hard. There's millions. There's so many kids that audition for that.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, she got to the second, what would that be? Not the second season, but the second series of the season.
Right.
And then she didn't make it in.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a girl who would absolutely not let anything stop her from getting her dream. And I use her as an example for a lot of people because it wasn't something she was handed.
Right.
She worked really, really hard. Did every scholarship application that's out there to go to that school.
Mm-hmm.
Worked full-time all 4 years of high school and maintained a 4 in every single class and waited and got to USC on a scholarship merit and just, you know, that's what it takes in this industry. It has to be the only thing you ever want to make it.
There can be no second, no plan B.
No, they call it fallback. I don't like the word fallback. I think you should fall ahead. You know, thinking of falling back to me, you know, have a fallback plan. You know, what about going forward and having a plan that will create from what you know, maybe not the exact thing that you thought it was going to be, but it creates more and more and more. And that's kind of what this young woman did, and now adult in her adult life. She's making things happen. And I know I didn't get her permission to share her name, but she is incredibly talented. And I work with a lot of incredibly talented people, and just wanted to remind anybody that wants to do this, or parents that see this, that if it's all their child wants to do or their young adult wants to do, cultivate it.
Exactly. I have had a chance in the not too distant past to hear one of your younger students, women of note. That young lady, she was middle school, so 12, 13? 12.
She's 12.
Has a range and a power and an effortlessness of voice that our mouths just hung open during her whole performance. Truly, truly blessed.
Yeah, she's a little star.
And you could see that her family was right there with her, supporting her. And that's,
oh yeah,
that's
it's huge. Yeah, that support is, I mean, it's as important as cultivating the voice is what surrounds you, the people that surround you, that push you. Go, do it. Whatever you want to do, do it.
Okay, before we wind up, is there anything else you would like to share with us? And I will get your phone number for anyone who would like to contact you about taking lessons with you, or to talk to you about maybe taking lessons with you. And we will have it on the screen here. So anything else you'd like to share with us?
I just like to share with people that supporting the arts in whatever fashion it might be, whether it's going to the Oceanside Street Fair, going to one of the many art exhibits, walking downtown, seeing what's going on in Oceanside and cultivating all of that, the Sunshine Brooks, the Oceanside Theater District with David and Star Theater in Oceanside. Go see shows. Go make some noise. Go do things around Oceanside, because it's just beautiful what's happening in our little city. And I've been here for a long time, and that wasn't the area that a lot of people would go to after 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And now it's just beautiful, and I love it. I love seeing all of the activity, and and support the arts, support Moonlight Amphitheater, support Doug and Randy Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway Vista.
Yeah, Broadway Vista. These little theaters, they produce some mighty work.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I will vouch for that. Okay, thank you so much, Debbie, for joining us today. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining us, and keep an eye out. We will have a new episode coming up soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you.